Hello there, welcome back to Crafters TV. I hope you are having a very happy hump day. It is Wednesday. It means, of course, it's time for Creative Cravings, that one show of the week where we maybe take a little bit more back to basics. There's absolutely going to be something for everyone to learn still in this show because she is here. She's in the building. The head mistress of Crafters TV is back with me. Jan Brown's here. How are you, Jan?
I'm good, thank you. We've all been watered and fed now. We're all ready for new lease of life, ready for our next show. So if you've joined us tonight, welcome.
Yeah.
We've got lots of things to show you, I must admit. So we go from one signature collection earlier on today to another one later on today. So we've got Garden Party on our show tonight. So I've just got one or two samples to give you a little bit of inspiration at the top of the show. Got a couple of demos planned for this one. So that gorgeous sort of little mini creator card there as part of the collection. And then you've got those lovely edge dies. So I picked these two out because this one is done with them facing one way, so the point goes down in the middle and up at the bottom. But then if you look at the one at the side of it here, done in a different colourway, with them used the other way up, it just looks totally different, I think. Yeah. So same die, two different ways. You've got that lovely bird cage stamp in there as well. And then also we've got that tea set. You know, it wouldn't be a garden party without afternoon tea, would it? The little macarons at the bottom there as well. The wording is part of the collection, the papers and things like that. So we've got a lot of that available for you tonight. I've also brought back the rotation stamps as well, and I wanted to have a look at these in detail on the Creative Cravings, because if there's any of you guys out there that are new to crafting, something like this, when you look at them, you might think, oh, it's a bit daunting, but I'm going to break it down into steps for you tonight. And we've got 4 different designs on the show. So you've got the meadow wreath there, and that one's just been fussy cut around the outside just to give a different idea. We've got those lovely butterflies on that one, done in the different shades of purple. And then we've got the rustic botanicals, again, nice bright summer colours on that one. And then we've got the butterfly wishes there. So there are 4 different designs. Hopefully I'm going to do 2 of them later on during the show for you. And then we've got some great kits. So if you are new to crafting, these are a brilliant way of getting into it. We've got the handbag kit on the show, and I'm going to try and demo one of these later, that just pop out and you can start decoupage, you can get your glue out, get your foam pads out, but just a really nice little idea. And the kit comes with the envelopes to go with it. So we've got the handbags. We've also got the reverse easel cards with those beautiful flower bouquets there. And again, everything comes in the, I'll show you the kits in a bit more detail later on, but we've got all the pieces to just pop out of the kits and stick together. And then the third option tonight is those double Dutch designs. So again, you've got the little gates at the bottom there, and then you've got the piece at the top. So just some pretty paper in there, and then just to open it, you just open the gates and rest it on that little piece of gate there, and it'll stand on its own. So double Dutch, I don't know where it gets its name from, I've not researched it, but cute little card design. And again, you get all the pieces, you get all the background pieces, all the toppers and everything. So again, if that's the kind of thing that interests you, 3 different lots of those coming up later on the show.
Yeah, absolutely loads to cram into the next couple of hours. In that case, the double Dutch one, I don't believe you've seen it before, so an excellent chance for you to get your hands on that. We will be, of course, talking about this incredible garden party collection. There's loads of different options and ways you can get your hands on it this evening. So there really is a price point, I should say, for absolutely everyone. I'll take you through some of those options now, how you can get your hands on them. So you've got the garden party paper and card collection. So you get the 12x12 and the 6x6 printed papers, and you're going to get the luxury card pad in there as well. A brilliant saving for you there, 15%. We also have an embossing collection for you. So you've got those wonderful towering teacups and that parasol there as well. A great price for you on that one. The stencils in here are absolutely exquisite. I love them because there's lots of different ways you can snip into these and use them separately or use them all together as a statement. So you've got that there with those 2 stencils. Then you've got the metal die collection. I love those edgeables with the extra mats in there. You've also got your sentiments as well as the what's it called, Jan? The round thing. Rosette die, that's the one I was looking for. The round thing. We also have a garden party stamp and die collection for you as well. So incorporating the stamps and dies along with the numbers and also the layering stamps in there for you as well. Of course, as always, the best way to get the best value comes from going for the big collection. That's going to give you absolutely everything that I've just shared with you there individually. The saving here is awesome, £50 or $46. Platinum members looking at £100 or $144. So the savings getting even bigger. And of course, free shipping and handling and free postage and packaging across that larger collection. So apparently it's a type of door. A double Dutch door allows you to open left and right top halves whilst leaving the bottom half shut. There we are. Right. That's me opening a door.
That's a double Dutch, either one or the other, like
I love that. Jan's like a little dance, isn't it, Jan?
I just thought you could open one, or you could open the other, or you could open both. Yeah.
My. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do so in all the normal ways. Crafters TV across on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you are over on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe if you're watching us over there. Where do you want to kick things off then, Jan?
Right, well, I'm going to start off with a basic card design. So I've just gone for a normal 5x7 card. In fact, I think it's a wee bit smaller than that, actually. No, 5x7. All right, in design, just a normal open fold, nothing fancy. And we're literally going to work on some matting and layering using the paper pad, the pearlescent card, and a couple of the bits that are in the collection. So I'm going to take you through. I have got bits prepared, but I thought for this first one, if there is anybody new out there, we often bring bits in that are already done, but I'm actually going to go through and cut all the pieces and stamp this for you, just to show you how to actually put it all together if it's the first time you've joined us today. So if it is, welcome to our little purple family. It's lovely to have you watching. And I'm going to start out with a little bit of die cutting first. So depending on what machine you're using, this will fit through pretty much all of our machines apart from the Mini. And this is the summertime pennant in here. And the idea behind this is that you've got that lovely sort of eyelet around the edge of the pennant and then a layer to go on top of it. But just look how much more metal is in there rather than just those two items. So I want to take the main outline die, which has got that lovely eyelet detail all the way around the edge. Okay, and this has got a cutting edge around the outside, but not on the inside. So it's going to leave my piece whole with all those lovely little delicate holes around the edge. And then we've got an internal piece that's a full cutting edge, and that is designed to actually mat and layer just inside the other one. Okay, if you cut these out together, you're actually going to cut yourself a gorgeous little scalloped frame that you could then pop, for example, a photograph inside or something like that. So on there you've got lots and lots of other bits and pieces as well. This one I love. It's got a gorgeous little butterfly on here, great for little bits of embellishments and decorations. You've got the birthday element, you've got lots of layers for sentiments and things like that. Every little space of it's filled with something on there. So I've just taken some elements from, first of all, the pearlescent paper pad, and I want to cut that background layer out of here. So I'm taking that die with the cutting edge of it and facing it down onto my piece of paper. And then I'm just going to take some of our low tack tape, which you can find on our website, and pop that in place. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with the plainer piece, but I've taken a snippet of paper out of the paper pad for this one, and we're just going to pop that one on in the same way. And then I've still got my MIDI out from the show that we did earlier, and both of these will fit through there. So I'm just going to take the folder for the MIDI, and I'm hoping, I'll do them separately, seeing as my bit of card's a bit bigger. So I'm just going to pass that one through. This is one of our manual machines. If you've got the electronic machines, again, everything will work apart from the little Mini. This one's too big to fit through the Mini. All those smaller elements on here would be great just to cut with the Mini, but this one just needs that slightly bigger space. So I'm going to take that one out, get rid of all my little dots, and I've got a bin down here. And honest,
doesn't really. She's
honest,
throwing it all on the floor.
I have. And then I'm going to pop that one through and show you that one as well.
Excellent. If you want to get in touch with me, if you've got any questions, it's a great show actually to give us any of your crafting conundrums, and I will pop them across to Jan as we go through the show. So any crafty questions that you've got, anything you're stuck on, if you're newer to crafting as well, this is the perfect opportunity for you to ask those questions in this show. So do get them into me, Crafters TV on Facebook or Crafters Companion across on YouTube.
Okay, so I'm just going to pop those back on that carrier sheet. Depending on how you store your dies, it may be that you've got them in a binder, it may be that you've got them on some magnetic sheet. So just get into the habit of actually popping everything back where it should go. I'm going to get rid of those two pieces, and we've got left, I'll just get rid of the little eyelets from the top there. You can see we've got that gorgeous piece there cut beautifully. We'll just get rid of all the snow off there now, little pieces. So if I show you this against my card here now, you can see that it's cut that out beautifully with all those little holes in, and then the second piece is just the right size to what we call mat and layer. All right, so you've got your mat at the bottom with a layer of pattern paper on
Anything
top.
to stop us cutting just using that die cut to cut the inner section of that banner out?
Not at all. Not at all. You can do whatever combination you wish. I just think, you might want to just stop at this point. You might want to cut several of these, use a large alphabet on here. You could use it as bunting.
Nice.
And thread some twine or something through the top. You might not want to pop that second piece on, but for the purpose of my card, we're actually going to go with the two layers. And then I've used my tape pen, and this is the one that I did earlier. It's pretty much the same there. We've just got a different little birdie than we have on this one. So I've stuck this one down using my double-sided tape pen. Perfect for those paper layers. All right. And I've also created a couple of mats and layers again. I've taken one from the pearlescent pad there, and I've cut this slightly smaller. So my 5x7 card started out just as a normal fold card, and then I tend to go down 1/4 inch. So this one's going to measure 6 3/4 by 4 3/4, and then we're going to come on with a piece of paper that's come down 1/4 inch again. So we're looking at 6 1/2 by 4 1/2.
Do you think there's an optimum level or number of mats and layers, Jan?
Absolutely not. No, you can do sets of 3. You could do this one and then put a smaller one in the centre. Effectively, that's what we're going to do with this one. It just happens to be a shaped one. But no, if you want to do, I know our Craig likes to use 3 layers when he's matting and layering. He often uses 2 underneath and then his focal point on the top. No right or wrong. This is what I love about crafting, Joe. We can give you examples of how to put things together, but at the end of the day, anything goes. You can use whatever colour scheme you like, you can use, whatever shape or card style that you fancy, and there isn't really anything that's right or wrong. She says just about to stick the paper on the card. Getting a bit giddy there, yeah? So I'm just going to literally line that up with that 1/4 inch border, so it gives me 1/8 inch all the way around there, and you can just see that nice little green border just frames it rather than putting the paper straight on. Now if you don't want to use that cardstock underneath, the paper can just go straight down onto the card. As I say, there are no rules with anything like this. It's whatever takes your fancy on that particular day that you're crafting. So again, I'm just using that tape pen. This is double-sided tape, and this one's going to go on top of my card blank there. And again, I've just got that border, that white border showing all the way around there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to sit this one in the centre here, just as a focal point to build on with the rest of our design. So again, I'm going to keep this one flat, because once we've got our stamped element, I'm going to raise that on some foam pads. So I just want to pop this one pretty central. So I'm just sort of checking there that it's about the same distance here as there is at this side, and then secure that one down as well. So that's our base ready, using that die set from the Summertime Pennant. Pop that to one side, and then I want to do a little bit of stamping with the dainty lace stamp there, and this has got that beautiful, beautiful parasol in there, and that's what we're going to stamp out with some ink. But again, you've got other lace elements, you've got that little border in there, different designs, corner designs, a sentiment in there as well. And this one comes with the matching metal, so you've got a piece of metal work here to cut out pretty much everything that's on your stamp set. So I actually want the parasol. We're going to take that one out at the ready, and I also want to take out the stamp there as well. Now again, depending on what system you use, this would go on an ordinary acrylic block and stamp out. If you like the rocker blocks, you could use those. You know, if you watch me often enough, that I prefer my stamping platform. It's just become a go-to for me now.
Which we've just restocked actually, Jan. Is available? Is it
available? Fantastic.
Well?
This is number one on my list of equipment now. It used to be my glass cutting mat, but that's moved down into second place. This one I go for every single time. Even if I'm just stamping a little sentiment out, I usually go on this one, purely because you can overstamp, and I'll show you what I mean.
$24.99 or $29.99 if you want to get your hands on that.
Just got a scrap of a stamping card there, which is our sort of go-to card stock. We call it stamping card, but it's pretty much all purpose there. And I'm just going to pop this face down. Doesn't matter whereabouts, because we're going to cut it out, and then literally pick that up with the top of my stamping platform. And then I've actually got some quick dry ink, because again, you know, any of the inks will work on this, but I want it to dry so that I can cut it out and not risk smudging it when it goes through the machine. So the quick dry there is fit for purpose. Okay, now you can tell I use the pink one a lot because I think mine's actually getting ready for replacing.
How often do we need to replace things like ink pads? I know it's just sort of how long's a piece of string situation, Jan, but I'm guessing you do an awful lot of crafting. How long have you had yours for?
Since they came out, this is the first one that I've had. So when these were launched, which is a while ago now, these are the original set.
Probably two and a half years?
At least, yeah, at least.
So you get a lot. They're good value for money.
They are, and
pink
is my go-to colour. This one gets used a lot, all the pink ones in the range. So again, I'm just going to stamp that one out. So just pressure on the top there, and you've got the satisfaction of knowing that that's going to make contact with that card there. A little bit of pressure just over your stamp, and just give it chance for that ink to transfer. And then when we lift it up there, you can see that image. Now what I'm saying is that this is one that I did with a different ink pad, and I think this is why mine is actually running out. It's actually ready for replacing because it's very pale, whereas this one's got
Is that the same colour?
Yes, it's still the pink tulip. Okay, so just to show you how to cut it out, and then we'll actually use this one on the design. So once you've got it stamped at the ready, move that one out of the way. You're going to take, I'm going to get a little piece of tape at the ready, and then you're going to take your die, and if you just have a look at the die here, you can see that there's a cutting edge, so raised edge all the way around the center point of that flat piece of metal. So that means that when I put this over my image here, I can pretty much see the whole image through that design. So it's just a case of spending a minute or two making sure that everything's in place, and then pop yourself a little bit of tape so that it doesn't move. And again, we're just going to pop that through our MIDI, and I just, oops a daisy, don't move it, Jan, that's not helpful. There we go. And keep flipping my folder over to use different elements of the folder for the MIDI just to keep it going. And again, pop that one through there. If your chosen machine's one of the electronic machines, exactly the same process. And then this is going to cut out the element for us to work with there, and you can just see how you've got that lovely shape. If you prefer to do your fussy cutting, you can take your little snips and just cut around it by hand, but absolutely perfect with the die cut. So we'll pop that all to one side, and as I say, I'm going to swap for the darker one just because we can see that one a bit better, but that's exactly how I arrived at this one. So on my card blank then, I'm going to take the parasol, and this is going to be sort of the main feature on here. And then also in that kit you've got wording as well, So we've got the word celebrate on this one. And this comes in 2 pieces. So I'd actually got this ready to die cut. So again, you've got an outline piece that creates effectively the mat. And then you've got the actual script that creates the word itself. So when these 2 have been passed through the machine and stuck together, you're going to get that sort of layer on top of the mat. So you can see how that's come together there. And then I've just popped some foam pads on the back of here. I'm getting very brave with my foam pads today.
You love a foam pad, don't you?
If any of you've watched me before, you know that I have a love-hate relationship with the foam pads. But they have been behaving today. So we're okay. So I just want to pop one on the back of that parasol as well. So we're just going to pop one on the back of here to raise that. Just need one in the centre there, I think. And again, as far as composition is concerned, you know, go with what you like. Doesn't matter whether you're facing this way, facing this way. You could even have it upside down if you wished, you know, and have some flowers in the top of it as decoration. But I'm just going to go here on there like so. And then I'm going to put my sentiment across the bottom there. And then just out of my stash, I've just picked some pink ribbon out to match, tied a little bow there, and I've still got my glue gun on there to pop a little bit of hot glue. And I just find that's probably one of the easiest ways of attaching ribbons and things like that. You can use your 3D Collal glue if you have that, but the hot glue dries pretty much instantly. And then again, just out of my stash, I've taken a couple of little pink gems, and we're just going to embellish. And this is, you know, always a personal thing. Some people like the little bit of bling on there. Some people prefer to leave it without. Entirely your choice when you're making your card. Don't let anybody ever say to me, oh, you've done that wrong. Don't let anybody do that, because it's your design. I'm just giving you some ideas as to what you can do with those components. And if I turn you that one round now, we've just got a fairly simple layered card using some of those images from that garden party collection.
Really gorgeous, very simple, very effective, and I think that's the joy of having something like a Sarah Signature collection, where a lot of the work's done for you, as in the paper designs are beautiful, the designs of the dies and stamps are all gorgeous as well. I'm going to go through exactly what you're getting included in this particular collection. So in here you are going to get, let me move these around, so there we are. So what you're going to get in here firstly is the vintage birdcage. So these are your this is all going to end badly, isn't it? It's a big collection, right? This is your vintage birdcage, as you can see here. So you've got those awesome birdcage. You've got the border dies in there, sentiments, and then all of the dies that you need to cut them out, which is fantastic. This one here is time for tea. So you can see you've got everything you need in there to create your own summer tea party, which is brilliant. So cake, teapots, spoons, mugs, it's all in there for you. The dainty lace is the one that you've just seen Jan using a second ago. So again, that parasol, the corner piece in there, again, more borders, more sentiments for you. Really awesome set of stamps and dies. We then move into the word dies, as we were talking about, the sentiment dies. So you've got party and celebrate. The one that I couldn't remember the name of is this one, of course, which is your beautiful rosette. These are really effective. They come together so quickly. Very, very clever die, that one. Then we move on to the summertime pennant, which is that awesome bunting die that Jan just took us through. Not only do you get the bunting, I mean, it really is, they've packed as much into each die as possible, because you've got all of those little embellishing elements in there as well, which are going to be really handy. These I love. Now these are this is the whimsical balloon. So it's kind of like an edgeable die, which is designed to cut into the edge of your cardstock, but then you get this little topper element as well, so it just gives it another dimension. The same here for the ornate lace as well. Two very, very popular dies, those ones. We then move into the delicate roses, and this is a really cool one to maybe start to snip into, to play around with, maybe some paper piecing you want to create with that. Then we move into the embossing folder. So this one here is your towering teacups, and you're also going to receive in here as well this one, which is your vintage parasols. Stamps included in here for you are the Happy Summertime. So this is all of your numbers, your occasions, froms, twos, your ordinals. It's all in there for you. A really handy stamp set, that one. Then some of our layering stamps. Now these are great for building up all those different colours. This one here is your Summertime Florals. The stencils in here are clever as well, because what they've done is sort of separated that stencil into 4 distinct different designs. So you can see you've got 4 different banners that you might want to use, but then also use them all together because they work as a single image as well. This one here, again the same. I think you could quite clearly cut the edges away on that, but then use it all together. It's completely up to you. We then move into the pads. So we are, of course, famous for the paper pads here at Crafty TV. Now, what you're going to receive is, you're going to get your paper pads. Let me take you through some of the gorgeous designs that you're going to be getting in here. A really great selection, all very summery, very floral, but a real variation of colour tones within here. Different designs, some things like this, great for fussy cutting. If you're into fussy cutting, you want to snip out some of those florals. Some plainer backgrounds, again, if you wanted to fussy cut this. I love that you've got so many sort of little elements built up within this one. Then you've got, again, some more plainer ones, and again, a sort of variation on a theme in all of those different colour tones that you could possibly require in there. So a really useful one. Love that the bird cane imagery is pulled through into the pad as well. You're going to get that in a 12x12 and in a 6x6. So you're getting 2 of those, and then what you're also going to get is the pearlescent cardstock here as well. And this is beautiful. We've got it in that lovely baby blue, that gorgeous pink, that sort of off cream, and that very light green, which is brilliant. £100 or $144 if you are a platinum member. Great value for absolutely everyone. Now, if you want to go for smaller elements, they're all over on the website for you. I just want to highlight the paper pads for you, which are as a single item. Would get you the 2 paper pads I just shared with you, and the luxury cardstock too. So if you want to grab those, I know a lot of you bought this collection when we launched it, and will now be wanting to come back and grab those extra pads to replenish. We've got those on a little deal for you. Now, every Creative Cravings has a hero tool, and the reason we put the hero tool together for you is because it's something that we believe all craft rooms should have in them. Now, today's is our Spectrum Noir pads that we're looking at. So if you love colouring, then these are going to be the perfect pads for you. Now in here you're going to get the premium marker pad. Now this is perfect for all of your alcohol stamping and colouring. You will also receive in here the premium watercolour pad, which is going to be great for any of the watercolouring you want to do. So whether it's aqua pencils or aqua pens or tricolour markers, they're all going to work beautifully with that. And then you have that black, matte black one here too. Now this is great for metallic markers and any of those kind of things. Great for acrylic paint pens, would work beautifully on here. 3 real heroes. So whatever kind of colouring you're into, Jan, you've got it covered here with those, haven't you?
Pretty much a bit of everything, yeah. And they are artist quality papers in there, or it's like a cross between paper and cardstock. Decent weight there, but the alcohol marker and the black one, a really nice smooth surface to receive your mediums. And then the watercolour one, I find that that's slightly smoother than our watercolour card that you buy separately in the packs. Again, real nice artist quality to give you really nice finished results on there.
Yeah, absolutely great. Hero tool, they're only hold the price on that for 24 hours. So if you want it, you'll need to get it sooner rather than later. We're going to move on and look at something I know Jan loves, and I know a lot of you are very intrigued by. It is our rotation stamps. Now these are excellent for building up a really lovely fall scene when it comes to your stamping. So that's how they're going to come to you packaged. I'm going to show you the boards that you're going to be able, of what you're going to create essentially. So what you do is you stamp each image out and rotate it, and that will make sense as we go through. But what it builds up to is this image down here, and you can see not only have you got that really lovely full stamped image, you have it in a variation of colours because of the way in which these stamps work. You also have the sentiment which goes onto the inside of there. The sentiments can be mixed and matched amongst the different collections. Meadow Reef was the first one I showed you. Then you've also got this one here, which is your Butterfly Roses. This one here is your Rustic Botanicals. And you've also got in here as well the Butterfly wishes. So you've got all of those included for you as well. So you'd be looking at normally £52 or just under $60. Everyone's got a great saving of 50%, and then the platinum price you can see right there on your screen as well. Better say hello to some people, hadn't we, Jan? Because I haven't yet. Georgianne is in Clearwater, Susan saying hi in Washington, Jean's in Michigan, Estella's in Arizona, nice 25 US. Don't think that is her birth name, but their birth name, even I should say, is saying hi again from Arizona. Valerie's in Arizona too. Diane's in Illinois. Alicia is saying hi from Arkansas. We've got Mary in Wisconsin. Lynn's in Essex. Jennifer's at North Dakota State Fair. She's just peeking in.
All right.
I hope you have a corn dog for me, please, Jennifer. Susie C says, can't wait to see what Jan will teach us today. And Jean saying how much she loves that garden party. A lot of love for that garden party. A lot of crafty questions coming in as well. Keep those coming in, and I'll ask Jan some of those as we go through the rest of the show, because this is a perfect show for you to get any of your back to basics questions in. Any of you watching us for the first time as well, nice 25 US is Loretta. Hello, Loretta. I thought so. Didn't think that was actually your name. Anyone watching us for the first time, please say hello. We don't bite. You can get in touch with us really easily. Crafters TV over on Facebook. Crafters Companion if you are across on YouTube. So if you're watching for the first time, maybe you've been watching for a while and you've not commented before, give us a little wave, say hi, and we'll give you a little shout out. But rotation stamps, Jan, one of those things I think that as soon as people fully understand the concept and how it works and master it, they absolutely love them.
Yeah.
Some people in the past maybe been a little bit frustrated by them though.
I just think these are sort of the creator card of the stamping world. They're so... The concept behind them is so simple that I think sometimes we try and make things more difficult than what they actually are. And when you look at these and look at the samples, you think, how on earth has that been done? All in those different colours on one stamp. But that's actually been taken away and dealt with so that you can just get on with the stamping. So I'm going to show you how it works. And if you haven't seen these before, once you see the concept, it really is straightforward. There are two key points that I want you to think about, and I'm going to explain those as we go along. So I'm going to use the meadow wreath to start off with. I'm going to stamp this in 4 different colours as it shows us on the imagery on the packet there. So inside here we get your stamp. Okay, and these are 5.5 inches square. Now I always cut my cardstock larger and then trim it down to the size that I want it, purely so that I can anchor this down and not interfere with the stamp. If I cut this down to say a 6-inch square, I'd be struggling to get it anchored and get the stamp in the right place. Now I'm going to use my beloved stamping platform, because this I would say is the best piece of equipment for these stamps, but I'm also going to talk through how to use other equipment if you don't have the stamping platform. Now we've got this on the show today, and as I say, this has become number 1 on my list of equipment. If somebody says to me, I've got some pennies to spend, what would you recommend, Jan? I think everybody should have this in their kit, and everything else then will become sort of redundant. The smaller stamping platforms, any other means that you've had, I use this for pretty much everything. And the reason being is that you can stamp once and you can re-ink and you can stamp a second time and be confident that it's going to overstamp perfectly. Now for this particular system, it's ideal. Now I said there were 2 things that you really needed to focus on. Number 1 is get my teeth in straight, positioning your cardstock on the base. Now if I work down in the corner here and had my stamp in the middle, those quadrants are not going to line up properly. So it's really crucial that your piece of cardstock is centered, and that's why you've got the grid on here to help. So my cardstock measures 7.5 inches square, and it's a piece of our Nina smooth cardstock that I'm going to use in conjunction with our quick dry inks. And I know from practice that this is just 1 square in on my grid all the way around. So I'm just going to spend a minute or 2 making sure that this is as central as I can get it using those grid lines, and then I've got room to put my magnets on because I cut it larger than I actually needed it. So I'm fairly confident now that this is centered on my base. The second thing that I want you to do is concentrate on getting the stamp centered on the top part of the stamp press. So I've just put it on there so that you can see it a bit better. I've got this turned face up, all right. We will actually use it turned over to press down the stamp. But my stamp's going to go on this side. And again, I know from practice, and I've been here before because it's got my little dot on it here, and I do this on mine at home, that I'm counting 5 squares in and 5 squares down. And all I've done is use one of my permanent marker pens and put a little tiny dot on where those 2 corners meet. And if you look at our stamp, we've got 1 square right-angled corner, and then the rest of them are all rounded. So if you work with that right-angled corner, and again, these are good quality photopolymer stamps, but the minute you take this off here, you can stretch it into different positions. Yeah? So if you don't get it down straight and then you're going to start stamping in quadrants, again, we're not going to get the right effect. Now mine's very glittery. I don't know whether you can pick that up on the camera. It's because my cloth was full of glitter at home, and I made the point of giving it a good scrub with the cloth and thought, oh heck, but it actually looks quite nice. It's got a little bit of staining on it as well from the inks, but again, it doesn't stop it working. So I'm going to keep my hand underneath here, and again, I'm just going to spend a second or two making sure that that right angle fits perfectly in the corner, and then use the grid line across the top to make sure this line is straight. All right, and it's worth spending the time now before you start stamping, and you will get the better result at the end. So again, I'm going to pull this one into place. Don't be afraid to just manipulate it onto those lines. And I want to make sure that each edge is following one of those grid lines pretty much perfectly. And if it's not, like that one's a little bit out, just pop it back into place and then stick it down again. So each of my lines here now follow one of the grid lines. I've not got anything higher up or lower down. So I'm fairly confident now that my piece of paper is central and this square of the stamp is central. So that's the 2 top tips. And then what we're going to do, we're going to stamp in 4 different colours. So I've chosen, we've got on the show today, we've got a selection of ink pads for you that are warm tones or cool tones. So this is the warm tone set, and it consists of the pink tulip, Chinese red, pale fig and Bordeaux.
Yes,
so
details
we've got
on your
a pale pink one here, we've got the red one and the Bordeaux are part of the same family there, and then we've got a lilac-y toned one. So I've actually put them in the order that I want to stamp them in. I'm going to start with that pale one, and I'm going to ink up all the way around here. Now again, top tip for you with the quick dry inks is they're on a sponge base, the ink pad. So if you press this down, you're going to get a big splodge of ink. It wastes your ink. It won't transfer with this system, but it just wastes the ink on the ink pad. So nice gentle tapping. And again, I do apologise because this one's quite pale, but you will see the rest of it all come together when we add the other 3 colours to it. So make sure it's got a nice, good, generous covering of ink. And I always start, again, this is another great reason for having this. We've got the logo on here and again underneath. I always start with everything facing the right way. So my logo is readable here in that bottom right-hand corner. And this is what I'm going to call position 1. Literally, press it down, and again, if you're not used to stamping, you'll probably get a better result if you stand for the first few times you do it. Your weight's centered over that stamp better than if you sat down. I find when I'm sat, I tend to push this up a little bit, whereas when you're over the top of it, you're actually pressing straight down. So just a little bit of pressure where all those images are to transfer that ink across. And as I say, this one is quite pale, but you can just pick out there that we've got what looks like a bit. You think, well, what have you done there, Jan? It looks a bit odd. Bear with me. Okay, now because that's a very light colour and I'm going in with a stronger colour, I'm going to go straight over the top. When I've used the stronger colour, I am going to clean it before I go to the next one. So again, lovely Chinese red coming up, nice light tapping, and you can see that's actually slightly darker there. It's picking up a lot better. Don't worry if you get the back of the stamp. As I say, it doesn't transfer with this particular system. So that one's going next. So we started off, if I leave this in position 1, it's going to over stamp what I've just done. So I'm going to do a 90-degree turn and bring this to the left-hand side. So we started here. I'm going to call this one position 2. And again, straight down, slight pressure on top of it there. I like to just go over all the different pieces. Just make sure they've all made contact with that cardstock. And then let it spring back up. And you can see that one a lot better. So it still looks a bit iffy. All right, bear with me. So again, I'm just going to give that one a little bit of a scrub because I'm coming to the pale lilac next. And I only use my cloth on them. I'm not the best at cleaning ink pads. I think it's because I do so much stamping. So pale fig next. Again, exactly the same technique. Just load up those stamped areas with the ink. Just go all the way around, make sure that it's all covered nicely.
I guess, Jan, the thing is getting it lined up at the start. As long as you've got it lined up.
Once you've got that bit, it's worth investing a little bit of time getting everything lined up. I know I've seen 1 or 2 people post on Facebook and on social media, and they've said that they still struggle with these. But I think as long as you're lined up both ways, you're basically working around an axis in the centre there. Now, last time we stamped in position 2, so I'm going to do that quarter turn again. So we've gone from 1, 2, up to position 3. My logo's here up in the top left now, and press down again. Commit to that stamp, bit of pressure. I am just repeating exactly the same thing 4 times, but with a different coloured ink. The next demo that I've got with this, I'm going to show you a different way of using it. We're going to use the same colour all the way around on it, just to give you a different idea. So again, a very pale one there with that pale lilac, but you can see it's starting to fill up now. And I've got obvious gaps left here where some of the other pieces are going to fit. So last one is the Bordeaux. And again, it's slightly darker than that lilac, so I'm not too worried about going over the top and contaminating those ink pads. So light taps just to get the ink coated on those images. And then the last thing we need to do is that last quarter of a turn. We were in position 3. I'm going to go once more so that we've had that logo in all 4 corners now. Okay? Press down and commit to that one. Little bit of pressure on there, just the same again. And that's going to transfer that ink, fill those gaps in, and we've now got a perfect wreath going on there.
Amazing.
And that's what creates that sort of shaping for you. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do, each of these comes with its own sentiment. Now again, if you're buying the collection, you can mix and match the sentiments, but this particular one just says happy birthday to you. I'm going to pop that in the centre. I'm going to grab my black quick dry there. I'll just take that one off for a second and then I'll deal with that in a minute. And then I'm going to come back to that other system for you if you haven't got the magnetic base. So again, just gentle taps with the black on there, just for the centre. Again, you can use whatever colours you wish. I've just picked the colours that we've got on the show for you to show what they look like. Pressure on there again, and you've got that in the centre there. So that's your design complete as far as the ink's concerned. Now this one's got quite a few open areas in it, so if you wanted to start adding some colour to this with your pencils, or again, these are water-based inks, so they would take your alcohol pens as well, you can actually start colouring in if you wish. I'm going to leave this one as is, and I just want to very quickly talk about the other system, because if you don't have the magnetic board, obviously this one, you're not in control of where it's going down. You might not get it in the same place. So if you're using the stamping mat, and if you've got a smaller one, this is the 6x6 one, what I would recommend is that you make some kind of marks on your mat, again with a permanent pen. Choose an area, you know, probably from the centre, you've got the crosshair in the centre, work your way out and actually choose an area. So again, you've got that piece of cardstock centred in the middle of your mat here. So for example, looking at that there, I've got one square left all the way around there, and I know that that's bang in the middle. So just by using a marker pen and actually marking that area here, if you're going to work with that 7.5 inch, and actually pop yourself a little dot on it so that you can line it up properly. And again here, working from the center of that, just be mindful that you want to get this in the center of your piece on your stamping platform as well. And then as far as actually working it up and down is concerned, I would actually pop a little pencil dot where this lands over your piece of cardstock. So for example, if I've got that back in on my grid there, and this is going to go over the top here, I'd be making a little mark underneath the feet with a pencil, so that each time I press this down, I was going in the same place. And then again, use this to work your way around, okay? So it is doable, it just takes a little bit of practice, whereas with the magnetic one, if you particularly like this system, it's worth investing in that magnetic base. So just to actually make this, again, I've kept it nice and simple just to start off with. I've got a 7-inch square card blank, piece of our matte black card, which again is just been cut down a wee bit smaller so that we've got that border. So if I just use my tape pen again there to add these together. So this is what we refer to as the mat. And you can do as many mats and as many layers as you wish. I'm going to do this one with the fold at the top. So we've got like that tent style there. And again, these have all been cut with my guillotine. And again, it's got those 1/4 inch increments on, so I can line it up and get a nice square cut. And then what I've done is I've taken my one of these and cut that down to a 6-inch square. I've just added 1 or 2 little gems on here so that it was dry, just as extra decoration. And this now fits over the top and just leaves a nice border there. Now the one thing I just wanted to show you before I move on to sticking that down is, I don't know whether you can spot the difference or not here. It's not easy to see the difference. I can't see a huge difference. Yeah. When I first did it, the first thing I did, and this is just my OCD, was to get the colours and think, right, well, pale pink into lilac, into red, into Bordeaux. And that's just me all over. The same as I have to alphabetise everything. That was the order of colours in my head that went through. And when I stamped it out like that, I ended up with the 2 very pale colours next to each other and the 2 dark colours next to each other. If you look at this one, we've got the red, the dark, the pink, the lilac, red, dark, pink, all the way round. So it's worth just thinking about what order you want those colours to come in. Think about those quadrants and where those colours are going to land. So again, I just brought that piece to show you what I actually meant. So let's just get that one stuck down there. And I'm going to keep it as simple as that for that first design. I don't want to complicate matters. We've got that one with the opening at the top. And as I say, these are almost like the creator card of the stamping world, because that's done the work for you. You've got your sentiment in there as well. I've just embellished it with a few little coloured pearls out of my stash. If you wanted to add a little piece of ribbon in the corner, you could, but I just think there's enough there to actually create your design and let that stamp speak for itself there.
Absolutely. Is there any reason we couldn't emboss one or all of the layers?
You could, yeah, that's taking it on to another level. I have in the past, I've done shows where I've actually embossed just one of the layers. You could actually do all 4 of the layers, but I would stamp and emboss and then put it back on and do your next one and then stamp and emboss. If you wait while you've finished all of them, there is a chance that your first one might have sort of gone less tacky. Okay. And obviously we wouldn't be embossing over your quick dry inks. You'd need to think about which ink would be best. If you wanted the colours, you'd be better with the opaque ink pads.
Awesome. Okay. Let me run you back through the 4 that you're getting there in the collection. The collection is the best way to get the best value. They are available individually should you want to grab them like that. They are available as well on a 2-4, I do believe. Any 2 of these for £23 or £27.50 if you wanted to get them that way. Meadow Reef is your first one just here. You do also then receive the butterfly roses. You're going to get the rustic botanicals and also the butterfly wishes in there as well. 35.33 or 42.36, your platinum price there on those as well. Should we do a few questions, Jan? Got some coming in. Some questions about the midi coming in. Kim asked how easy it is to wind the handle. She says it looks quite simple and straightforward. Is it? And also Caroline asked about the biggest size that the midi can take.
Right, excellent. So let's have a look then. As far as the actual turning of the handle, dead simple. You know, I mean, I know there's nothing in it at the minute, but even if I put my folder through that there, I've still just got a couple of fingers. I'm not even holding the machine. And it is really, really easy to send that folder through there, and it will reverse and come back out towards you. If you're not keen on leaning over, if you've not got the room to lean, you can actually reverse the handle and bring it back. I've not even got any pressure on the top of it. I know I haven't actually got a die in there, but it still works the same. And that's because, you can see there, it's got that gorgeous suction underneath. So as long as it's on a non-porous surface, you're going to get, whether it's on your glass mat or whether it's on your desk, you're going to get that brilliant suction on it, which means that once it's actually fastened down, it's not actually going anywhere, and really, really simple to use. And you've got a surface area there of 6 by 8 3/4 in the plate, so it's quite a generous size, comparable to our Gemini Junior space on the cutting plates there, but it's just the folder rather than the plates.
There you are.
Okay.
I hope that helps. Mary Ham says, what kind of ribbon is the best ribbon for tying bows?
I think you can tie a bow with any ribbon. Obviously some of the thicker ones, the bit chunkier ones like your grosgrain and things like that, tend to be a bit more cumbersome when you've tied it. My favourite is organza ribbon. If I'm buying ribbon myself, I nearly always go for organza ribbon, but that again is just a personal choice. The satin ribbon is nice and easy to tie. If you're not so sure about it, there's several different ways of tying a bow. We've got the bow makers. You've seen our Craig do the little bunny ears where he crosses them over. Lots and lots of different ways. So again, have a flick through some of our videos. I know all the members of the team, we all tie bows, we all do them slightly differently. But yeah, pretty much any ribbon or twine or anything like that you can tie a bow with.
Awesome, I hope that helps. Laura Simmons says, I know when you use the stamping platform that you can apply ink multiple times between stamping. Should you do that with the rotation stamps, especially if you use a few lighter colours? Do you want me to read that again?
Read that one again for me.
I know when you use the stamping platform that you can apply ink multiple times between stamps, so you can restamp.
You can overstamp.
Should you do that with the rotation stamps, especially if you use a lighter colour?
You can do, yes, to build up that. I often do that, so you can stay in that same quadrant. So where we started with this in position 1 with that pale pink, there's nothing to stop you stamping and then inking up again and overstamping in that same position. You can do that 2 or 3 times to build the depth of colour, absolutely fine, and then go on to your next colour and do the rotation. And again, if you want to ink that more than once and get a really, all I would say is make sure that you're going over the top and pressing straight down. As I say, I found sometimes when I'm sat down, there is a little bit of give in the springs, and it doesn't take much for those rotational stamps to be out of line. And I find when I'm sat, sometimes I push forwards, so it's moving it just a fraction that way, whereas when you're over the top of it, it's going to go straight down, and that's what you want for those. Okay?
Awesome, hope that helps. There's a question coming in here from Diane as well. It says, which ink pads did Jan use for the rotation stamps? I've got the ink pads right here actually. I'll take you through them. There's a Cool Tones first, which I'll share with you. Both been put together to work well with the rotation stamps. You've got the Frosty Jade. You've also got, that's your Frosty Jade, Green Topaz, the Parakeet, and the Oasis. So they're your cool tones. Prices there on your screen. Or you can go for the warm tones. The warm tones being the Bordeaux, which is that gorgeous wine colour, the Chinese red, the lovely blush pink in the pink tulip, and that wonderful purple there in the pale fig as well. $14.97 or $20.85. Right, lots of you have very full baskets over on the website, so I want to give you an opportunity to check out. I'm going to share with you all the details of US shipping and also Club Inspire.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you, and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
All the details there of US shipping and also Club Inspire, which is awesome. Got a little bit of a shock there towards the end of that. Charlotte got a bit excited. Are you all right, Charlotte? You okay? What are you crying for? Right, let's move on. Let's go to let's go to. I don't think Charlotte realised the video was coming to an end. She's like, 3, 2, 1. Let's have a look at some of the card kits that we've got on the show today. This one is excellent. Now, this is the double Dutch one. I'll show you the concept in just a moment, but what I love about it is you get full instructions on the back of here. So, fair to say, just add some adhesive really with these, Jan, isn't it?
Or the 3D glue gel, however you prefer to work, they're great.
Awesome. Yeah. So this is what you're going to work towards with the double Dutch one just here. So you can see apparently double Dutch is like a style of door where you open either the bottom or the right side or the left side, or as Jan was saying, you can open both sides. So right side, left side, both sides. There you are. It's just depending on the weather or how warm you're getting, I guess. So you've got the double Dutch one there available. 100 bonus points on each of these, which is brilliant. You can see a really great price. I think these are fantastic if you know someone that's wanting to get into craft. I think they are brilliant for that. So that's the first one. Jan's going to take us through these in a second. The next one you're going to get is this one. Each one of these makes 24, by the way. This one here is your handbags. It makes a variation of styles of handbag in here as well. So you've got 6 different styles of handbag in here. So you're going to be able to make 3 of each of the styles, which is brilliant. This is just one of them. Again, full instructions included with that one. And then the final option for you is this one just here, which is the reverse easel that you are getting, and again you've got all the styles and the instructions on the back of there, and the kit includes the 48 printed die cut sheets and also 24 envelopes as well, so you've got the cards there and the envelopes in which to send them to, which is brilliant. Lots of you still chatting away as well, getting your comments in. Any questions that you've got, get them in to me. Really simple. Crafters TV over on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you're across on YouTube, and I'll pop them across to Jan as we go through the show. I mean, I know how easy these are, Jan, because I've put one of the handbag ones together, and if I can do it, I mean anyone can do it.
You see, he's on our wall, aren't you? He's on our wall as a crafter. But yeah, I think these are great. If you're just starting out in crafting, this allows you to make something that's got that wow factor with very little input, because all the work's been done. All you have to do is assemble it, and that's what I'm going to show you, just one of them, how to actually put it together. Now, they actually make the style of card that looks like a little handbag. So for example, this one here, you can see there, we've got the actual design, and then when I open this up, you can actually see there, you've got printing on the inside as well. Now, I've not actually decorated the inside, but there is enough on one of these sheets to decorate both the inside, outside, the reverse of it, you name it, and there's still bits left over that you can then incorporate into your normal crafting. Of course, you could always use this and actually keep it flat. You could cut them in half to make it go even further, and actually have these on the front of a card there. If I just turn it, whoops, away, she's following me, there we go. You know, you could use them flat on the front of a card and then build up your decoupage. So there's nothing to stop you actually sort of veering away from the design. But I just think what a lovely gift for somebody that's just starting out in crafting, or maybe sort of older children that are liking to get into craft as well, you know, that can actually cope with the composition on them. And 100 bonus points.
Brilliant.
You know, we'd have to spend £100 to get those normally, and we're just giving you those if you choose one of the kits with us tonight.
What does decoupage mean for anyone that's new, Jan?
That's actually a good question, Joe. Yeah, decoupage just means layering
or
up
as
the designs.
some people call it, decoupage.
Decoupage, depending where you come from. Yeah, where I come from, it's decoupage. Decoupage. But then, yes, decoupage, if you're feeling a little bit more, if you like to have a bath or walk down the path, decoupage. Where I come from, it's a bath and a path, and it's decoupage. Johnny's just giving me a really mucky laugh then in my ear. He's just laughing at my Yorkshire accent, aren't you, Johnny? So yeah, just literally layering up, and I'll show you what I mean when we get started, but there are several pieces that form one of these little clusters, and when we layer them up like that, it is referred to as decoupage, just lifting them up on foam pads, and I've done that pretty much on the whole thing. So just to take you through how we get the pieces then, there are 2 sheets for each particular design. So I've taken one and I've started popping out the pieces, and you can see these literally just pop out of here. If I show you what I mean, they're just fastened in with those little, I call them tangs, where it's just that one little section that you can pick and just pop to take them out. So you can see there we've
Sounds
got
like a dance move, pick and pop.
Pick and pop,
Oh.
yeah. All right, so I've just destroyed that.
Is it like
one
a
now.
bend and snap?
Yeah, and a twist and a turn.
Yeah.
Yes, we could go on all night, couldn't
Pick
we?
and
Okay. Thank you. Oh, my coffee's just arrived. He's
I
a
reckon I'd be...
star. Thank you. It is our John, bringing us all coffee. He does look after us.
He does.
Thank you.
Give us a wave, John, come on. Give the people what they want.
He's coming in for a wave, look. Should have had the tea towel over your arm, John. He's a star. So literally all I've done is popped everything out of the 2 sheets, and you will have extras. So if you've got any little bits left over, I just tend to keep them in a little cellophane bag and pop them back in the pack for use with a different project. So what I've done then is I've taken out the main card blank here, and this has got a score line in the middle for you to just fold and burnish in half. So you can see straight away we've effectively got our card blank going on there that stands up. And then we're going to decorate the one side of it to bring it to the front. So on your additional piece, you get the purse flap there, and you get a second one which is going to layer up on top. Okay, now you might not want to use this one. You might want to just take the one with the handle, use that, and save this to make an extra one to make your kit go further. Entirely up to you. But all I've done here is put, oh, I've gone mad with foam pads now. Look, it's hopes they behave themselves, isn't it? I've got them all over the place. Again, if you prefer to use your 3D Collal glue, and I'll just get mine out of the bag so that you know what I'm talking about.
Would you use a hot glue on like a finished card like this?
You could absolutely. I find that with this particular kind of design, the hot glue doesn't give me as much dimension as I would like. But I've got here my 3D gel. So again, it could be that you use this one, and again you can put as much as that on to raise it up as high as you wish, and it will dry in that raised form. So whichever your preference is. Obviously when we're demoing on TV, like I've said before, we need things to be dry, so that's why I've gone for the foam pads. But this is going to line up perfectly now with the one underneath, and just start to build a little bit of dimension and start to throw some shadows in where it overlaps as well. And then again, I've gone berserk with these, look, haven't I? I was getting ready for this at home, and I'd only got the little square ones to hand. So if you've got the larger pads, there are less. I've cracked it though, Joe, look. They're coming off.
More foam pads than Craig Laird here.
Do you know, I sit at home practicing. How sad is that? Just taking the backs off my foam pads. My floor's littered with them. Practicing, yeah. I don't like anything to beat me. I really don't. So again, we've got the beginnings of it going on there. So there are lots of other components. I'm going to take out the happy birthday here. So I've just popped this one out of my one that I chose there. And again, look, Jan, crikey.
Jan.
I am really testing myself, aren't I, today? But they are behaving. Look, I've got it. I don't know what the difference is.
Maybe it's your state of mind. Maybe it's about
Positivity.
You and not you. Maybe it's your state of how you feel about the foam pads, not the foam pads themselves. Stephanie says I made one of these handbags recently for a friend's 70th birthday. She loved it. Debbie says I purchased these a few months ago. Samantha Cheney says I have this card making kit. Made one for one of my grown granddaughters. Made a little pocket inside to put some money. She thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Oh, that's lovely.
Really nice idea. Christina says my granddaughter, who is on the autism spectrum of Asperger's syndrome, absolutely love making these with me because they are already organised. They work well for her linear thinking.
Beautiful.
Love that.
I love that, yep. So again, on here, you've got sets of sort of clusters. So you've got a base one, which is always the largest one. So if I take this one here, the largest ones come out of the bottom. Then you've got the cluster of 3 flowers here. And then I've got 2 separate ones that are going to go over the ones that are at the front. This one's further behind. So the whole idea of decoupage is bringing it forwards to give you that depth. And that's what I've done here. If I turn it sideways, you can see the foam pads in between there. That's just giving it that little bit of height. So that was that one. And then here we've got the largest one's the one you start with here. And then we've got a second one and a third one. So again, we've got that depth there just with the foam pads. And then the third one's down at the bottom here. So that large piece is your starting point. Then we've got the cluster of 3 flowers. Then you've got the 2 singles here. There's a couple of little ones left over. So again, you know, you can either save those for another project or you can add them elsewhere on your card. And then you get all these extra bits. So I've taken out some of the little butterflies to use as embellishments as well. So just popped a few of those out, and then these are the clasps for the purse. So you've got 2 different designs there. So again, I've just taken one of those, popped it out and just added a little coloured pearl in the centre. And then on the original sheet you've got a couple of extra sentiments there: sending love and have lots of fun. So again, I've just popped one of those out at the ready. So all the bits that were left over, rather than leaving them in the sheets, because they do, once you've started taking pieces out, it kind of weakens the sheets a little bit. So I tend to pop all the extra bits out and keep them. But what I like about these is you've got all this spare. So for example, I've taken this piece out of here. You've got all this spare that's printed on the back. So out come the paper punches, whether it be a butterfly or a flower, and punch out of the waste and keep them in a little pot, and then you're not wasting a scrap.
Sounds a bit aggressive. Punching out the waste.
Punching out the waste, yes. So all that's left to do now then is just decide whereabouts you want to pop everything. So again, I'm just going to follow the one that I did earlier, and we've got a couple of sprays. So the large one is going to go down at the bottom there. And again, I've just got a cup. I'm not going to go mad with these now because I got a bit giddy.
Teresa Diamico says, did I miss a John sighting while I was getting a drink? Oh no.
Oh, you did.
Teresa, Teresa's not letting me know how the weather was today, but did she give me a weather update? No weather update today from Teresa. Teresa, do let me know.
So again, I'm just going to pop one of those. Tuck that one just under the edge there at the bottom. And again, this, you know, you decide where you want these to go. There's no right or wrong with these. I'm going to go down this edge with this one. Oh dear. Joe, has he put something in your coffee, Joe?
I think he's trying to bump me off.
Getting your own back. So again, we'll put one just up at the top there. So I'm going to have one on there. Bless him. Are you all right over there?
Bump me off, I
don't need to come and do any Heimlich manoeuvres or anything, do I?
For the avoidance of any doubt, I said bump me off.
And then again, I'm just going to take the backs off here and just wherever you fancy a little bit of decoration. No right or wrong. You decide where you want things. If you want to save some of these to use on an extra design,
Went
you
down
can.
a mile, Jan.
Did it? There's
Yeah, I'm
nothing
back now. I'm all
worse.
right.
Are we back in the room?
It's my sippy cup.
Your sippy
Comes out
cup.
with quite force sometimes, honestly. Yeah.
It's sippy cup. Right, so I'm just going to pop a little bit of double-sided because that one can stay flat there. And this is going to be my little sort of clasp on the front there. And then have loads of fun. We're going to pop just along the bottom here.
Sorry, Jan. So it's pandemonium in the background, isn't it?
Yeah, you get used to it. You get used to it. It's the only time I can honestly say that I've got voices in my head and people don't look strangely at me.
Yeah.
Because normally if you say that, they think, oh, give her a wide berth. But I have actually got voices in my head.
You have
And they do
indeed.
make me chuckle a lot, I must admit. So again, I've just got one of those little pieces and because I can, I'm just going to pop a little extra piece on the back there because we can there. But again, you can see how beautifully they come together. Just a little bit of fun. And again, if you want to write inside here, it is actually not coated on the inside. So you could use an ordinary pen on there, or if you've got our metallic pens, the markers, something like that, that would actually go over the top of it. So yeah, fantastic idea for anybody that's just starting out crafting. But I've been crafting for years and I love using these. They've all got their place.
I think, especially if you need something like a quick make, Jan,
Yeah.
and actually, very enjoyable to put
They
together.
are,
just to sit and pop
they've got
these out.
really,
Maybe
really
if you're going
nice
away,
results.
maybe you're going away, you're not going to be taking all your crafty stash with you. You want to just be able to do something on the go. What a great thing to do. I'll go through the 3 different kits that you'll get included there. Remember, you get 6 different varieties in each one of these kits. You've got the vintage handbags, which is this one just here. We've also got the double Dutch one. I love the amount of detail, added detail you get on the double Dutch one as well. You can see really lovely with those elements that Jan was talking about, decoupaging them up. You get absolutely loads of detail on there. But there's your double Dutch one. So there's the details for that. And then you can also go for the reverse easel. They all fold flat, which is great. So if you are going to be posting them, they're going to be fantastic for enabling you to do that. $24.99 or $29.95 if you want to go for those ones. How's your coffee, Jan?
Currently coming down my nose.
Oh gosh, it's me with it in the wrong hole. You got it coming out your nose.
It's beautiful, honestly.
Is it?
It was well received, yes.
I thought we were just going to stay and watch Jan have a coffee for a second, and I was all right with that.
I just enjoyed that immensely, honestly.
It was like a moment, yeah. Right, I want to take you back through the Hero tool, which are 3 Spectrum Noir pads. These are amazing quality when it comes to using your colouring with them. So you've got firstly here your alcohol marker pads. This is a white cardstock for you to do all of your stamping and alcohol colouring on. It's really imperative that you have the right cardstock when you're using alcohol markers. You don't want your paper to drink it in. What happens if we use the wrong cardstock, Jan, with like our alcohol or our watercolour, which of course we're getting them all in here, and you're getting the matte black there too. So this one, I'm guessing the matte black is going to be good for your metallic products.
Yes, they will show up better on anything metallic will show up better on a dark coloured cardstock. So you'll get, if you use them on lighter colours, you'll get the pigment out of those inks or the pens. But the metallic factor, you need a darker cardstock for them to show up. That premium cardstock is so smooth, it's beautiful to work on. Just giving you the best results. And yeah, working on the right cardstock does make a huge difference, particularly if you're using alcohol markers. I know we're all sort of out to save pennies, and if you go into several of the stores you can buy packs of inexpensive white card, but trust me, it's worth investing in the real stuff, because all they will do with the The more inexpensive stuff is just soak up your pens to such an extent that they'll run out within a matter of times using them. Whereas the premium cardstock, it sits on the surface and gives you time to blend. If you've had trouble in the past blending your alcohol pens, that could be one of the reasons why. If it soaks in too quickly, you've got nothing left on the surface to actually blend with. And you will find that even with a quality cardstock, you'll get that bleed on the reverse of it. That's normal because we saturate it so much with the alcohol, it pushes it through the cardstock. That's why we always say to pop a blotting piece underneath it. So they are worth investing in, Joe, they really are.
Brilliant. Right, do snap those up. 15.90, I don't know what that noise was, 15.90, it was very guttural, wasn't it? It was like I was possessed all of a sudden there. Don't know what that was.
What is it about this time of night, Joe?
Sounded like I was choking on yogurt or something, didn't it? What that was, I don't know. 15.98 or 23.92. If you want to get your hands on these. I don't know what's going on, do you?
It's like the witching hour. It gets to this time of night here, and honestly, everything just goes to pot.
It really does. Right, I want to break down the smaller collections for you of Garden Party that we've got available. Here is that card collection. So 120 sheets in here in total. You've got the 2 printed papers. So you've got your 6x6 and your 12x12. And then you've got that luxury 12x12 pearlescent cardstock in there too. We're moving on. You've got the embossing folder collection just here. This has got the towering teacups in there for you, alongside that wonderful parasol, so you can get that one just there. You ready to move on now, Charlotte? We've got the stencils available for you. For you as well. This one is the delicate doilies and also the traditional lace borders in here. Next slide. The next one we've got for you is your metal die collection. So you've got beautiful rosettes, summertime pendant, delicate roses, whimsical balloons, ornate lace, party and celebrate. Next slide, please. We then also have, that's going to be my new thing now, and it is going to drive Charlotte insane. We have got the oh, it's really funny. It is. I haven't finished. I didn't ask the next slide, Charlotte. In that particular one there, you've got happy summertime florals. And then your stamps and dies. Time for tea, vintage bird case, and dainty lace. Next slide, please. Right, let's come back. Oh, if you're in the US, you might not know why that is quite so funny. So in the UK, we have like a daily government briefing, and I don't know why, but after a year and a half, they still haven't given the person giving the briefing the clicker to do the slide. So periodically, it's like an hour, and all you hear is, and this is the data for all of this. It's next slide, please. And it's all they say over and over again. And this is data. So we'll take some questions. Next slide, please.
Oh dear.
Oh, what are we doing now, Johnny? If you want to go for all of it, everything that you've just seen me take you through there, get it all together, absolutely you can. £125 or $180, that goes down to £100 or $144 for Platinum members. You're going to get free postage and packaging and also free shipping and handling on there as well. If you want to place an order, why I'm so laughing because I'm just imagining all the times I'm going to do that in the future to Charlotte, and she's not going to know what's hit her. Right, if you want to place now's a great time to do so. craftscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu, and you can see everything that's available in the show under the shop the show button. I also don't know how it's taken me a year and a half to think of doing that, Jan.
Honestly, as I say, it gets to a certain time here in the UK and everything just goes whoppy. It does. It just gets to, it's like the witching hour, honestly. I don't know what goes on, especially when they put us two together, Joe. I don't know what's going on. Right, back in the room then. We're going to spend some more time with the garden party. So again, I've picked out 2 elements of the collection, and we're going to use that lovely lace border out of the vintage birdcage set. And then I'm going to use the teapot and the cup from the time time for tea. So stamps and dies in both of these. So if I show you what I mean here, you've got the metal work to go along with the actual stamps. So each one of these, if I turn that one round here, you can see we've got the border there to cut out, you've got the bird cage and the other elements that are in there as well. Couple of sentiments, that lovely little rose cluster in that one. And then in the time for tea, you've got that lovely teapot and the cup there, you've got a cake, cupcake, little spoon, and you can see where these have got their metal dies as well to cut them out. Like I said, if you prefer to do the fussy cutting, then you can take your scissors to them and have a play. So I've started off again, just white stamping card, which I use for card blanks and card bases, and I've cut this 10 inches by 6 inches. So 10 inches across the top, 6 inches high, and I have scored, let me just remember rightly, I've scored at 1.5 inches and 3 inches on each side, 1.5 and 3. And I'm going to fold the middle one in, just make sure the bottom's lined up there, and then I'm going to fold the one nearest the edge back out on itself. So we're going to create like a bridge card. So this is going to come in together now, and then I'm going to put a piece across the front here. And if I show you the one that we've done already, this is what we're actually aiming for. We're going to just do that matting and layering again, just popping in the pearlescent card with some of the paper over the top. And I've alternated between the green and that lovely lemon. It's almost like a golden yellow colour. It's a lovely shade,
really
the,
nice.
the yellowy one. And again, I've picked those same colours, gone with the paper in the background and picked the same colours to just colour in. And you can see that lovely lace border across the front there. So we'll start off by getting that card blank ready, and I have literally just got some mats and layers that I've already stuck together. So just like we did at the top of the show when we did that first one, I've cut one piece out of the pearlescent card that is 1/4 inch smaller than the area that I want to fill, and then I've gone down another 1/4 inch and taken a piece off one of the papers, and this is just going to fit nicely in there and leave a little white border around the edge. So again, because we're working with the paper and the cardstock, those tape pens are your perfect partner, just to bring that round and add a bit of adhesive. So we're going to pop that one. Is there a right or a wrong way? I don't think there is. We'll go that way with it and pop that one in the centre there. I'm not too worried about the 2 side panels. If you want to cut extra pieces for the side panels, you can, but I'm actually going to go with these outside edges here. All right, so again, a little bit of adhesive on here, and we're going to stick one to this side, and again I've just worked on the same basis. Measure the area that you're starting with on your card. So this measures 6 by 2, and I've just gone down in those 1/4 inch increments to make those mats and the layers that go on top of them. And you can do this as many times as you wish. So we're just going to pop that one on that side, and we've got that base ready then to receive our embellishments. So we're just going to pop that at a 90-degree angle there, and then what I've done is I've cut a separate piece of white that we're going to go across the front to hold that in that position. So we've got that lovely sort of shaping going on there. And then again, that same green cardstock, different piece of pattern, and I'm going to stick this one onto here. So we can do that first of all and get all that ready. Okay, whoops.
There's a lot of laughter going off in the comments. For Holidays Design says, I love how much I get to laugh with you all. Colette says, OMG, I'm laughing. And Joe, I'm laughing and crying, which makes it very hard to colour. Please stop. Lynn says, it's the coffee John just brought in. It is. I don't know what he's put in there. What's he put in the coffee? Cheryl says, I love this channel. I stumbled across it 2 months ago quite by accident. They never do just a card. I love it. I love that synopsis. More than just a card. Crafters TV. Maybe that should be our strapline.
More than just a card.
Crafters
yeah.
TV. More than just a card.
I like that. That's good, yeah. Maybe we should submit that, Joe. They're looking for
Absolutely.
ideas at the minute.
There we are. More
Can
than
we
just a card.
borrow that?
I think it's Cheryl's idea. We'll have to give her full credit.
Yeah.
Pamela says the pattern paper in this collection is so wonderful. I bought a lot of it in both the 12x12 and the 6x6. Teresa's let me know it is sunny, hot and humid. Thank you
There
for that,
we
Teresa.
go.
It
Yep.
is neither of those things here.
Not today.
No, not today indeed. It's going to be very wet and very cold. If you're wondering why I'm looking down, I'm just looking at the weather on my watch. It's going to be very wet and very cold for the next, I say very cold, it's still like 18 degrees, which I'd imagine is about 18, right, let's do this game, Johnny. I'm not quite good at this game. I reckon 18 is about 64 Fahrenheit.
I am rubbish.
62, 64 Fahrenheit.
I hated teaching the conversion at school because I'm rubbish.
Is
at
it 64, is it?
Oh, nice guess.
How do I do that? Because I don't know what the conversion rate is either. I'm not sure what the sum is to allow you to do that. Gosh, maybe I should be a professional Fahrenheit guesser. Maybe that could be my new calling.
Oh, a Fahrenheit guesser.
Fahrenheit guesser, yeah. Not the aftershave, the measure of temperature.
So again, I'm just going to stamp out that border for you, so you can see what it looks like then. I've put my piece of, just got a strip of stamping card there that I've secured with the magnets. And I'm going to use the darkest one of the purples there, which is Damson Wine. Quick dry again, so that we can move on and not have to worry about smudging it. These are perfect for the job. And if you haven't seen these in action before, I'll do my little demonstration for you. All right, so literally, it's going onto my cardstock. I'm just going to give a good press all the way across it to make sure it's all made contact with that. Lift it up and literally just, I don't know what's in it.
We're not allowed to know.
I don't know. It's Leanne's top secrets, but that is not going anywhere. And literally, that was as fast as I could lift it off. Really does what it says on the tin, quick dry. So if you're wanting to get going with something, then those are the ones to go. Now you will see there that it's actually stained my stamp a little bit. It's got a bit of a pink tinge to it. That is just, with your pinks and your purples, you will get that a little bit. It's just the pigment that's in there to create the colour. Doesn't damage the stamps, it just gives them an, obviously, I quite like the idea that they're pink. So personally, it doesn't bother me at all. But if you really don't like it, if you take a proper stamp cleaner to it, you should be able to get it off. But it doesn't damage the way that they work at all. It is just a little bit of staining. So don't be alarmed if any of your ink pads do that. And then if I take that piece off there again now, we can just have a look at that die. And again, you can see there that we've got the shaping with that cutting edge in the centre again. So if I pop this over the top, get that little bit of tape at the ready. And again, I'm just going to line it up so that I can see the whole of the image through the centre there. And because it's quite a long die, that one, I'm going to tape it at either end so that it doesn't move, just with a little bit of tape. Pop that onto my plates again. So again, we'll flip it round the other way this time, just to keep that housekeeping going. And again, just for those of you that were asking about the MIDI, we've got the die in there and the cardstock now. And again, I'm not even holding it. I've got one finger and one thumb, and that's how easy it is to turn for you. Absolutely perfect. Okay, so again, when we take that one out, you can see there it's literally just fallen out there because it's a solid piece. So we'll get rid of that bit, and then we've got our piece there that we're going to use on our design. So I did go ahead and do a little bit of the other stamping ahead of time. So if I come back to the other set here, we've got that lovely sort of teapot design going on here. So I've actually stamped one of those out, just like I've shown you there. And I've used a black alcohol proof ink and then coloured it in with my alcohol pens there. And I've picked out the purple and the lemon just to go with the cardstock. And I've also done the little cupcake at the bottom in the same colours.
I love that. I mean, I'd have a teapot if I get one that colour, Jan.
It's beautiful, isn't it? And then on this one, you've got that lovely little birthday wishes there, which I've just stamped out. And again, you've got the die. So, you know, as far as that lovely shape is concerned, you've not got to worry about trying to cut that out. That actually comes here on your set to cut it out once you've stamped it.
Stephanie would like to know when your next craft along is, Jan. Have you got one planned in anytime soon?
I haven't had one this month. I've been busy with the launch shows this month, so it depends what comes up and when. I think I've had quite a few launches this month, so I've got my calendar for next month, and I'm not sure what the answer is to that one, to be honest. I'm hoping that I get some more, because I really enjoy doing them. I know our Craig's up tomorrow. Is it tomorrow he's doing his...
Yes, with the gnomes.
Yeah, I'm gutted. I wanted to play with that one. I shall have to have words with him. I might have to pull rank on him, wrestle him and see if I can get it off him.
I'm sure he'll let you come in tomorrow and pick that show up if you want to, Jan.
I know. I've got to go home tonight. I've got to go home. I've got to start work ready for... I've got mixed media coming at the weekend.
Ooh,
can't wait to get my fingers dirty.
What sort of things are we looking at?
We've got lots of stencils on the show again, but we're going to incorporate them with those gorgeous cosmic shimmer products. So I think we've got a new product for you.
Have you got the Careless Whispers on the show?
The Careless Whispers.
Yeah, the Careless Misters.
Oh, I'm not sure whether they're on. I think a lot of those sold last time we brought them. But yeah, lots of different ones, and we're going to go back to those, the new stencils that I launched just recently. I've got those on the show. So if you didn't pick those up last week, I've got those on, and that's on Sunday the 1st of August. How did it get to be August, Joe?
Oh,
I'm not quite sure how that happened. Right, so I'm just going to
Sunday.
It is. Yeah, that's when I'm next back.
Shut the back door.
Yeah. I'm like, how did that happen, honestly? My little baby, my grandson, will be 18 months old next month. It's like, how on earth did that happen? Honestly. He's into all his cars and trucks at the minute. She's just sent me a photograph earlier. He's out in the garden and he's got one of those big cars that you sit in, but it's a police car.
Right.
And he's got his little cheesy grin, and I'm busy talking away, and I've stuck my things down now. I'm just going to see if I can very gently...
What have you done?
Pull them back off, because I forgot to put the bit that I've just stamped on, Joe. Oh my goodness. Here we go, look. Just see if I can remove them, because I didn't quite press them down. There we go. What I meant to do was put this piece on. You were too busy thinking about Craig's gnomes, weren't you? I was thinking about Craig's gnomes, and then I started thinking about my little grandson, and that was it. Everything went out of my head, because I do miss him when I'm working. He's still at our house at the minute. They're hoping to move into their house at the weekend, so I'm going to lose him.
Oh, no.
Oh, they've been at our house for just over a month, so I've woken up to him literally every day. Feel very spoiled at the minute. So that was going on there first, just to create like that sort of, almost like the effect of a tablecloth, isn't it, with the lace? And then we can put the teapot and the cupcake back on there. And then I'm just going to use, I've popped a couple of foam pads on that birthday wishes, and I'm just going to use the tweezers to pop that one in the top there. And again, relatively simple in design. It was just the idea of making a different shape card. So you've got that bridge card there, and then when I turn it round that way, you've got that design for you going on. I think the only difference on the one I did there was I'd added a couple of little gems, so you can see pretty much the same thing, just with some little sparkles on there. Okie doke, so that's your garden party.
Amazing. Right, I'm going to run you through the boards of the garden party. I love it. Johnny's like, do it just quickly. I was like, Johnny, have you seen how many there are? There's so much in this collection. It is absolutely bumper collection. And I think that's great, because it means you're going to be able to create so many different types and styles and concepts when it comes to your projects, whether they're cards, home decor, bunting, scrapbooks, you name it. You're covered with this particular collection. So into here, you've got the vintage bird cage. You've also got time for tea when it comes to your stamps and dies. This one here is your dainty lace. But then we also have your party and celebrate. Next up, you've got this one here, which is your beautiful rosette. First time we've done a die in this style. Super handy to be able to create those. Then you've got your summertime pennant. You've also got your whimsical balloons, the ornate lace. The Delicate Rose is a really nice creator card. No outside cutting edge on that one, so it's great for cutting into the top of things like boxes. You've then got your towering teacups, your vintage parasols. Now this one here is your happy summertime stamps. And then you've got your layering summertime florals. The two stencils there, which is traditional lace and your delicate doilies. Then you're going to get the 6x6 card pad, which is the same, obviously different sizing to the 12x12. So what you've got in here is, it's quite clever really. So you've got several different designs and then you get them in different colorways. So it's really great if you want to create a theme of projects, but you don't want them to all be the same. So you've got lots of different ones of those in there. And then of course you're also going to receive the pearlescent luxury card in there as well. It's just got such a really lovely luster. I absolutely love that baby blue. Right, I'm going to give you an opportunity to check out your basket. So whilst you do that, here's how to shop and also the details of Club Inspire.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Crafters TV, and I'm here to show you how you can get the best deals and shop while you watch during our shows. The best way to watch us is always on Crafters TV. So head over to our homepage and go to Crafters TV Home, where you can see all of our shows, plus exclusive offers, and even shop while you watch. Now, if you want to get involved and comment along, you can head on over to our community pages. Come say hello, ask us some questions and chat along live with us. Or you can watch us on YouTube. Simply head to our Crafters Companion YouTube channel. Got a smart TV? You can even airplay our shows direct onto your big screen or stream us live through YouTube. We're constantly adding new and exciting shows to our schedule, so don't forget to check in. It's never been easy to have us in your living room. It's always fun here at Crafters TV, so come join us as we create every day. Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
All the details there on how to shop and also Club Inspire. Now we're going to move back to the rotation stamps. They've been very, very popular tonight. I know Jan's got another demonstration she'd like to share with us on these. This is how they're going to come to you, and then this is what you're going to create. Essentially creating all 4 different sections to give you this really lovely full design in a multitude of colours. So you've got the meadow reef, the butterfly roses. You're also going to receive the rustic botanicals in there, and the butterfly wishes as well. Right, now something else you might want to go for in conjunction with these, the magnetic stamping platform, which is the one that you're going to be seeing Jan use with these in just a second. It is back in stock. We've just restocked this, so now's a great time to grab it. $24.99 or $29.99 if you want to get your hands on it. £20 or $24 if you are a platinum member. You'll find this and everything else in the show over on the homepage of the website, craftscompanion.co.uk.com. .eu and click the shop show button, which you'll see on the home screen. Right, more rotating, Jan.
Yeah, and just, going back to that stamping platform, I know I keep going on about this, but if it's the only thing that you buy tonight, it is worth, in my opinion, it is worth every single penny. It really is. It will revolutionise the way that you stamp. And if it's something that you enjoy doing, but you get a bit frustrated with, it takes all that away from it. So I'm going to use it again for the rotation stamps. Now, this is the one that we did at the top of the show using those warm tones, and we literally stamped each quadrant in a different colour. Now I'm going to go totally different and give you a different look this time, but it's the same method. All right, so just like we did at the top of the show, we're going to use rustic botanicals, which is a bit more of a solid stamp this time. This one's got a lot of open spaces in here with the flowers and everything. This one's got a lot more solid pieces in, so you do get a slightly different look with them, although although it's the same concept. So 2 top tips then was how you position your work, all right? So I'm talking about the cardstock first and then the actual stamp. So just to go through that with you again, in case you weren't watching at the top of the show. So I've taken my cardstock and I've cut it to 7.5 inches, which is way bigger than the actual stamp itself, but that gives me plenty of room to anchor this and it not get in the way of the actual stamp there. Now what I've done with this, I took those cool tones, so again we've got the quick dry inks there, and we've got Oasis, Green Topaz, Parakeet and Smoked Emerald, and I thought, well, if I do the same again, it's pretty much like we did in the first one, just in cool tones as opposed to warm tones. So I thought, right, we'll mix it up a little bit. So what I've done is I actually took the opaque pigment versions of these colours and created one of my sort of swooshy backgrounds. So you've seen me do this before.
I thought you said a sushi background then.
Swooshy,
I thought, sushi.
Technical term.
Well, I could eat a bit of sashimi tonight.
Yeah. Ink on the mat, smoosh it in, and you get this kind of effect there.
Don't smoosh it in sushi, that's not the idea.
And then literally just the heat tool on it. And I did bring it, just for our Johnny. Although it's dry, I will just literally pretend to give it a dry there with the heat tool, because I know how much he likes it. It is on. It is on, but it was already dry. But that was how we did the background. There'll probably be more of this if you can tune in on Sunday, because I can give you a bit more idea how these work when we get to the mixed media. So I'm going to
Johnny will be tuning in on Sunday,
top.
sorry, he says.
Pardon?
Johnny said he'll tune in on Sunday to see your silent heat tool.
Oh, just to see the heat gun in action.
Yeah.
So again, I'm going to make sure, and this one's stamping card this time. When we stamped here with the quick dry inks, I used the Nina cardstock, but because I was using sort of water with the inks on this one, I needed something a little bit more substantial, so I've gone for the stamping card. So again, just make sure, tip number 1, that your cardstock is as central as it can be on that grid. So I know that my 7.5 inches is 1 square in all the way around the grid. All right, so again, get those magnets on there to anchor it, and that one's going to stay in place. Now then, tip number 2 is, well, leave that one there to see. Tip number 2 is making sure that you've done the same process with the stamp. So again, just take that one off its carrier sheet, and they do tend to sort of, because you've got the hole in the middle of there to start with, they don't come out of shape, but you can stretch them easily when you're putting them down. So just have a closer look at it and just make a note of the fact that we've got 1 right angle corner and 3 rounded corners. So the right angle corner is the one that I'm going to work with. Now on my 8-inch platform here, I know that 5 squares in and 5 squares down is actually my starting point, and you can just see there I've got a little tiny dot just to remind me, because I use these quite a lot, and I'm going to line up that pointed corner into the corner of where those 2 lines meet. And then again, just take your time making sure that the stamp lies along that grid line perfectly. If you've got anything that's out of line here, it's going to affect how that stamp rotates. All right, so when we turn the platform around, you're going to get a little bit of misalignment there. So when you look through the centre here, you should be able to see the same portions through the middle there. So I'm quite happy with that. It's following the grid lines there. If it's not right, don't be afraid to just manipulate it into place. They are quite forgiving, the stamps. Now this time, I'm not going to change colour. I'm going to do it all in one colour, and I'm going to go for a solid black. Now I've actually brought my oil-based ink pad for this one, because I'm going over the water reactive inks. And this is a really dark, and it's the one that I use for silhouette stamping. So again, solid black, and we're going to ink this up and literally go all the way around all 4 quadrants with the black. And you'll be surprised at what a different effect you get, even though it is still essentially a rotation stamp. So we're going to start again with the Crafter's Companion logo on the bottom right, so that you can read it properly, and over the top of it, straight down into that cardstock. Little bit of pressure over all those points where it's making contact. Just make sure that you've pressed it all down nicely. Okay, and if you don't quite get it all, again, that's one of the beauty of having, see here, it's not quite got all the way down. So I'm just going to pop another layer of ink on. Okay, maybe I didn't quite press hard enough there. But because this is in the same place now, keeping it in position 1, as long as I'm going straight down over the top of it again, this is actually going to ink over where I've just stamped. So it's going to darken that black and actually bring, I've still got a little bit missing there. I think it must be drying on there with the lights, but you get the idea of it. So then I'm going to carry on with the black now. We're just going to make sure that it's actually catching that leaf there. And then I'm going to do the quarter turn. So if you were using different colours, this would be where you change to your second colour. But on this instance, I'm going to stay with the black. So we started here. I'm going to rotate clockwise, quarter turn, and bring it over to this left-hand side, so my position 2. Straight down on here. Again, a little bit of pressure on there, just over those stamped images to transfer the black. And this is going to start filling in some of the spaces on here now. Again, ink it up again.
Which one of the 4 is this one, Jan, did you say?
This is Rustic Botanicals, this one.
Rustic Botanicals.
Yeah, it is a bit of a favourite, this one. This looks gorgeous done in the autumnal colours. It would make a great kind of Thanksgiving card for you guys in the States, I think. It's just got that kind of look to it,
and remember,
with it having a little bit more solid shapes in it.
The great thing is if you're going for all 4 of these, you're going to get all 4 of the sentiments as well, aren't you? So happy birthday to you. Thank you for everything. Have a beautiful day, and sending butterfly wishes. They are the 4 that are coming in there and can all mix and match, which is awesome. I'm sure you've got lots of different sentiments in your stash already that will fit nicely in that aperture as well.
Absolutely. I like mixing and matching things. You know me, I like to go out of the box. It's like, tells you how to do it this way, I like to do it the other way. It's just the way I work. So again, I've turned it again. We started with it down here in position 1, then we did position 2. We've turned it again up to position 3. You can see how it's starting to fill those gaps in now. We've just got one more quarter turn to do, and this is going to fill in those last gaps. Okay. There's a bit of chuckling going on, isn't there? I don't know what's going on.
You're a live show in here. You're right. What's wrong? You're just giggling. Okay.
Tell you, the witching hour's passed across now.
What is wrong with them?
They're having a little chuckle out there. So that last quarter then.
For?
And you can see now how it's filled in the whole of that. So the black on the blue, I just think makes a really nice design. So let me just take that one off there. And then with this particular one, we've got Have a Beautiful Day. So again, I'm going to go into the centre with that one. And I'm going to swap back to the Parakeet Quick Dry this time for the centre. So again, picking it up
What is wrong with them? What is
and
going
then just
on?
ink up with that Quick Dry.
What is happening?
Okay.
Sorry, Jan.
Honestly. Professionals here, you know.
What is wrong with them?
Oh, dearie me. It makes a change for it being us that loses it.
It does, doesn't it?
And again, you can just see how that's bringing that blue into there as well. And I'm going to double stamp that just to make it a little bit darker. Okay.
No, I'm going. I don't even know what's funny. Something's really tickled.
He's not
John.
sharing, is he? Here we go. There. So it just brings that depth of colour out for you there. So I'm going to take that off the stamping platform. Just absolute chaos has just ensued outside now. I don't know what on earth's going on. And again, what we're going to do is
Do you remember the last time we were
down.
all together when the football was on, Jan?
Pardon?
That was the experience, wasn't it?
Oh.
When we were all together with the football
Yeah.
on. Now you've got this.
I don't know. I don't even know what they're laughing at. I'm
Neither do
dying
I.
to know what set him off.
Rachel is letting us know that everyone at home can hear them as well.
Can they?
Yeah.
Naughty. Honestly, I'm going to smack their hands when they come back. I'm going to get my teacher mode on and sort them out, Joe. So again, I've just cut it down. This is the one that I did at home, cut it down. And where we've got some of those open flowers, I know that my ink is actually alcohol proof. So I've just chosen one of the marker pens that's part of the blue turquoise range. And literally on some of those open elements, I've just added a little bit of colour in there just to sort of bring in that monochrome effect. So again, just something different that you can do with them. He's still laughing. What is going on?
Hear them.
I don't know what he's doing. He's gone outside. Oh, bless him. He can't stop. Do we know what set him off yet?
He can't tell anyone what's so funny, because every time he goes to tell people, he laughs.
He's laughing again. So again, you can see how we've got that one coloured in there. So just picked out certain parts of it to finish it off. And then I'm going to, because we've stamped in black, I've got a bit of my sexy black Centura Pearl. I love this stuff. It only comes out on special occasions. And because it's my precious cardstock, I'm going to take my knife to it. He's proper lost it out there, hasn't he? Okay, we're dying to know what set him off.
He sounds like he's in pain, like a ringtail lemur or something that's, you know, having a stroke.
So I've only got a sort of that 1/8 of an inch all the way around. It's 1/4 of an inch smaller, this one. So I've got literally 1/8 of an inch either side. So I'm just going to take my straight blade craft knife. If you prefer to do this with a metal edge ruler, go for it. I've done this so many times now that I can literally just through the middle of here, straight onto the glass mat. I'm not really bothered whether the inside bit's straight because I'm not using that piece at the moment. I can straighten that up with a guillotine when I want to use it. But what it does mean is I've got this piece to use on another project, whether it's die cutting a sentiment, because it's my precious black Centura Pearl. Why waste it when it's going to be under here and nobody sees it? So it was formerly known as gutting your card because you're taking its middle out, but being a bit more frugal with it, however you want to look at it. And then we're going to lie this one straight over the top. So I have put some tape just on the outside. I don't know why I taped this one and none of the others. It's just the way my prep goes. Sometimes I do and sometimes I use the double-sided tape pen. So this was actually double-sided tape off a roll. And again, I'm just going to take...
tape on a roll.
Tape on a roll, not foam on a roll. We've got tape on a roll this time.
Absolutely.
All right. I've not seen our Ben for ages.
I don't ever see Ben.
Well, no.
Never, ever.
That's because you work on the opposite shift.
I haven't seen him for like 5 months.
I think we should have a get-together now. Things have opened up a bit more because our team's very widely spread, aren't they?
Well, we can't really because, I mean, generally he's here or I'm at home. The odd day when he moves up, hopefully you'll be able to see him. Be able to go for a run with him on my actual work day.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. So again, I've got some tape on the back of that black piece, and I just sort of like to lift the edges. Very sticky, this one. So just by lifting the edges of here, we're actually going to put it onto the top of this and make it into a box. So I've got a 6 by 6 inch square that I've cut down to with a slight larger matten layer. And then we've got our box lid. So I've got some turquoise Centura Pearl just to go in with that nice blue. And then all I've done is just lift the edges of the tape so that I can hold it and just hover in position there. And once I'm happy with it, you can commit to then pulling the edges of your tape out. It's just a little cheats way, because sometimes once it's grabbed, if it's not quite straight, you end up doing some damage when you try and get it back off again with the tape. So we've got that on the top there. Okay, and then I've already put some tape.
Colour cardstock that you've put that onto.
This is the turquoise Centura Pearl, Joe.
I haven't seen that,
beautiful.
I don't think.
It was in one of the mixed packs. I think it was the Darks mixed pack. I've had it a long time. But it just sort of matched those cool tones nicely. So again, I'm just folding those corners in to create the box. And I apologise if you've not seen us do the boxes before, but I will on one of our demos go into a bit more detail. Again, I've just used plain cardstock for the underneath. I don't want to waste the Centura pearl on the bottom. So you could say that's finished. And again, like we did here, we just stamped in the centre. But just to give you another idea, I've actually used some of my nesting dies and re-stamped this with a scalloped one and stamped it in the turquoise again. And just by adding this into the centre gives you a completely different look again. So again, you can either have it stamped in the middle of your design there. This one, I really did just go overboard, didn't I, with these foam pads today.
You're loving it, aren't you?
But again, we can just pop that one in the middle there, and it just adds that extra level of detail there, and you've got a lovely little gift box to give whatever it is you fancy. Preferably something to stop our John laughing. Has he calmed down now?
Well, I don't know. He's gonna need. Honestly, he couldn't stop himself. I didn't think he could breathe at one point.
I know.
Yeah.
It's usually us that lose it in here, isn't it?
It really is. Should we do demo of the show, Jan? Because we've got to get demo of the day in then as well. I hadn't even realised.
Yes.
So we're going to be running out of time.
Right, let me move all those bits to one side then for a second. So, top of the show then, we started off with Garden Party, and we did that nice one with the pennant on there and the parasol. So that's number 1. Number 2 was the first rotational stamp, which was that lovely meadow wreath, done in those warm tones that we've got on the show. That was number 2. Number 3 was the handbag card kit, and we just put one of those together to give you an example. So that's number 3. Number 4, we went back to the Garden Party there, and we used those lovely lilacs and lemons in that one to make the bridge card. So that was number 4.
Awesome.
And then number 5, we've gone back to the rotation stamps again, and we've just made that nice little gift box, doing it in black as a sort of a silhouette design on that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 this afternoon.
Awesome.
This evening.
You've only got
isn't it?
2, well, you've got about 90 seconds to vote. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafts Companion over on YouTube. Go now, Margaret. Right. Go now, Margaret. Right. I don't know what's happened. It's been one of those days today, Jan. It really, really has. I haven't really been feeling my best all day, and then I don't know what's happened, but in the last 40 minutes I've come alive, and I have all this energy that I haven't burnt all day.
Laughing about is whatever he put in the coffee, seriously, isn't it?
Probably was. I don't know what it was. Let me take you back through these rotation stamps that you've got. So you've got the Meadow Reef, which is this one just here. You've also got Butterfly Roses, which is this one here. Then you've got Rustic Botanicals. He's calmed down. You're pleased to know he's calmed down. Butterfly Wishes. He's going to come in and tell us what was so funny there as well. It's not appropriate, apparently. 44.16 or 52.95 if you want to go for those. Your platinum pricing is there, of course, on the screen as well. The Hero Tool, which is just down here, is your Spectrum Noir paper pads. Now these are excellent. These are real premium quality. So you've got the 3 Hero ones in here. So you've got your marker pad, which is this one here. So your premium marker pad. You're also going to get your premium watercolor pad in there as well. So 30 of the marker sheet, 20 of the watercolor. And you've also got as well here as well your premium black. You all right, Chan? What's wrong? Where's Margaret going? She's going to vote. Go now, Margaret. Go now.
Go.
Your black paper pad in there. Where else would she be going? You've got so 1 for your alcohol markers, 1 for your watercolours, and 1 for your metallic products as well in there too. Demo of the show is number 5, Jan, please. Number 5. I'm going to run over and get it from you. The last one. I'm on my way.
There we go. The box. Fantastic, thank you very much. It matches me, doesn't it?
It does.
I'm
Well,
all coordinated.
does it look the same colour though?
Does it look
or
the
does
same?
It look different on the?
It's
on
not
screen?
bad, is it? It's not a bad
pretty close,
match.
isn't
I
it?
just say that I'm in green. I can tell you now that our John's recovered.
Is he? What?
He's
do you
all
want
right.
to share it with us, John?
He's still with us. It's
Oh.
not sharing. It's not fit for airing. I think.
Well, just put, not even with this gang, not fit to share. Right, number 1. No.
Oh,
No, wrong way round. Here we go. Number 2. Got me 1 and me 2 confused. There we are. Number 1, Craig's from Wake Up Call. Number 2 is Jan's Nutcracker from Launch Day. Or number 3, Rotation Stamps with Jan from Cravings. You've got about, again, 90 seconds to vote. Go now, Margaret, go now. Right, Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube. Right, let's share with you some of the smaller collections from the garden party. This is the garden party paper and card collection with 120 sheets here. Brilliant. You get the 6x6 and 12x12 printed papers, and you're also getting in there 24 sheets of the luxury pearlescent double-sided cardstock as well, which is lovely. Next slide, please. Next one here is your embossing folders, as you can see. So you're going to get both the embossing folders in there. You're going to get the vintage parasol and the towering teacups. Next slide, please. You've then got as well your stencils in here, which is wonderful. You've got the delicate doilies, and you've got the traditional lace borders as well. Next slide, please. Next up, we've got here for you, this is your metal die collection with 23 elements. In here, you're going to get beautiful rosettes, summertime pennants, delicate roses, whimsical balloons, ornate lace, party and celebrate. Next slide, please, Margaret. Then you've got your stamp and die collection in here as well. Don't ask me what I'm laughing for now after all of that. Come on. John's like, what are you laughing for? You've got your photopolymer stamp, your layering one here, which is your happy sometime. You've also got your photopolymer stamps, your summertime florals, and then your 3 sets of stamps and dies, time for tea, vintage birdcage, and also dainty lace as well. Right. And we're going right down to the wire today, aren't we, with the demo of the show. Poor Rachel, running her ragged towards the end of the show here. We are sorry, Rachel. I think it was Sean's fault, to be honest. I mean, who else are we going to blame? Jan, pleasure to spend a day with you here in the studio. When are you back with us?
Back on Sunday. I've got that mixed media show at 3 o'clock on Sunday, and then I'm here for Second Chance Sunday on Sunday evening. So, yeah, love working together, Joe. It always brings a smile to my face. We always have a giggle,
fun.
Don't we?
We do always have a giggle.
Can you come to work and have a little giggle?
Absolutely. Yeah? Not many indeed. Yeah, it has been absolutely brilliant. Don't forget to check out your baskets. Remember as well what's happening tomorrow. So really fun day. It's a triple Craig day tomorrow, actually. Myself and Craig all day. So who knows what we'll get up to. Wake Up Call with Craig will be here in the morning at midday, 7 a.m. Eastern time. And then, of course, a craft along we'll be looking ahead to in Wake Up Call. And also we'll be previewing some of the cartload items as well. Number 3, demo of the day. Number 3, Jan's
That's the rotation
box.
Stamps, yeah.
There we are.
Thank you very much.
Right, if you are across in the USA, enjoy the rest of your day. If you're here in the UK and Europe, then enjoy the rest of your evening. We're off to see what John was laughing about. We might be able to share it with you tomorrow. We probably won't be able to. Who knows? Don't forget to check out your baskets. Make sure you join myself and Craig tomorrow. 3 fun-filled shows for you. Kicking off at midday with that Wake Up Call. Massive thanks to Jan, big thanks to John and Jake, and also to Johnny and Charlotte. See you back here for another full day of shows tomorrow. Take care.